Hey, boys, we getting ourselves a lunch fight. We got ourselves a lunch fight, baby. Let's get to the playing ground. Let's get to the monkey bars, the spider web, and everything. It's going down. AEW versus NXT. I have one question for you people. Are you ready? No, I said, are you ready? Cody better break some more thrones, bitches. So we're getting ourselves a Wednesday night war. I put war in quotations. I think this is more of a playground battle between AEW, what's their show name? I don't even know if they have a show name yet, versus WWE NXT. Wow. Now, I waited because I didn't want to do anything before the official news. I like waiting for the official news. Originally, the plan for NXT was to go on Fox Sports 1, a premium channel. But then Vince heard that AEW was going to be on TNT. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, TNT is free, which means you just have to have cable. You just have a television. You just have to make sure that you can access free channels, and bam, you get yourself TNT. And Vince was not going to sit here and stand for this shit. Vince said, nope, I ain't going to let these guys go to my background, my backyard, and try to take what I built for many years. Damn it. Let's give them. They want the bull. They'll get our baby bull. And his pettiness and his fearfulness of AEW taking away their hardcore wrestling fan base and maybe getting some new fans, maybe stealing some sponsors underneath him, maybe stealing something else from underneath them. Who knows? Charities, anything that Vince didn't want AEW to get, he made sure by putting on their known commodity. The one show everyone says is the best from WWE. You do polls, what's better? TakeOver, AEW pay-per-views. TakeOver sometimes wins. And guess what? He grabbed it. He said, well, the Raw wasn't good enough. NXT UK is not going to be good enough. Damn it. Let's show them what we got. Bam. NXT. The known commodity of NXT. I don't even know what NXT stands for. It's just NXT. It's the next generation. Put it on there. Now, this is not the first time NXT has been on an NBC Universal channel. Remember, it was on Sci-Fi. It replaced ECW at one point in time. So just remember that, folks. Just remember that. But NXT is now going to be on the USA Network. What does this mean for NXT? My question is this, and this is going to be why it's a live stream, and if you do watch it live, awesome. If you aren't, that's okay. Just watch it via the playback. My question is, with NXT, how does this help NXT? That's my main question. Mine's the fact that it's just to cock block AEW. I just don't see how this helps NXT. I just don't see how this makes NXT any better. You're now expanding it to 2 hours. Okay, cool. But what are you going to do that's different with NXT? Because one of the main appeals about NXT is the fact that, it's only 1 hour. It's not too much wrestling, especially with Raw and SmackDown, giving us 3 hours and 2 hours every week. And sometimes those weeks are blah. It's nice to get that 1 hour adrenaline rush from NXT. Now NXT is going to be 2 hours. Vince and Kevin Dunn, they're going to have more people involved with this. This is going to be more producers than usual. Papa H is not going to have the full control that he used to have. Like these are the questions you got to ask. These are the questions you need to know about. How does this benefit NXT? That's the main question. I don't know what this does to help NXT. I don't know if this is just Vince saying, hey, NXT and AEW are similar, which they are. I'm just going to cock block AEW by giving them NXT. That's it. That's really why I feel like he did this, was obviously to cock block AEW. He just doesn't want AEW to steal any of their business, which I understand. From a business perspective, I understand. You don't have to respect it. You don't have to like it, but hopefully you understand it. I'm going to repeat that again because a lot of times people don't like to, hey, listen, use your ears, open them up if you need to. You don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it, but hopefully you understand it. It's a business. I have worked many jobs, full-time and part-time, where we have undercut people, where we have tried to steal business. Heck, I remember one time there was a new restaurant that opened up at a restaurant I worked at. And we undercutted that new restaurant to the point where we almost took them out of business. It's a business. That's what you do. Yeah, I know everyone wishes the world was holding each other's hands and everyone would work together, but that's not how the world works, people. Maybe in your universe, but not in the world. The world is a sad place and it sucks sometimes, but it's a business at the end of the day. But let's not try to paint this picture of, oh, poor AEW. They did nothing wrong. They just existed, and Vince is trying to be a dick about. Okay, they've just existed. So every week when they go on their little YouTube show and they troll WWE and they troll WWE to the point on Twitter and they troll WWE on their little after match promos, that's just them existing. When they'll bash WWE for what they do on like these little shoot promos and shoot videos that they do for StarCast, that's just them existing. Cody Rhodes has an entrance where he's like, they gave it all away, they took it all away. Makes a t-shirt saying he's the Throne Buster. Literally says that he wants to be different than Triple H. He wants to show that he's a wrestler first and an executive second. He calls out one of the main vice presidents of WWE. That's just them existing. And then Cody goes, you can't count a program, AEW. That's just them existing. No, it's called talk shit, get hit. It's killed or be killed in this world, to quote Nate Diaz. Are you going to be like Conor McGregor in the first fight and fold in? Or are you going to go ahead and freaking stand down, bite your mouthpiece, and go blow to blow with them? It's business. Deal with it. AEW are the ones that said, hey, come on, bring it. We want you. They wanted WWE to do something like this because it allows them to paint this picture, not Bob Ross style, but like some dude on PBS that doesn't know how to paint a picture. Allows them to paint themselves as underdogs, for people to believe that they are underdogs, and for people to actually believe that, oh, AEW did nothing wrong. They just existed. No, they called them out. They've been calling them out. It's like a fighter in MMA. Just because you haven't heard someone call them out for years doesn't mean they've been calling them out. Doesn't mean they're innocent. Like it's like I've seen this before. MMA fighters will do this. They'll call someone out, call someone out, call someone out, call someone out. Then they finally get that fight. They get their shit kicked in, and then they try to make up some bullshit excuses. No, man. Talk shit, get hit. Deal with it. You guys wanted this. This is what you wanted. You wanted to be compared to WWE. Not from the sense of in-ring or anything like that, but from as a wrestling company. Because like your own workers, Jim Ross and Chris Jericho have said, no one can be the WWE. Keyword be. No one can be what the WWE Titan is. No one can be what the WWE Empire is, with lines of video games, their own network, charities, corporate, everything. Everything that WWE is insane. And you're right. You can't be the WWE right now. You can't. Not saying you can't beat the WWE on a weekly television standard. You can definitely do that. But you can't be WWE. So what's better to be WWE than to be against WWE and be the detractors, be the competitors? Being the alternative would have been so much different because you would have kept your mouths quiet. You wouldn't have mentioned WWE. You wouldn't have done a bunch of silly stuff. If they would have just kept their mouths quiet, put some duct tape on it, and just said, hey, bite your tongue on some things, then you would have been an alternative, similar like early TNA. Sure, early TNA would have goofy stuff like Cookie Gate and having Vince McMahon come to Turning Point and Mr. Levesque, and they would do goofy segments like that. But at the end of the day, they got away from that. They decided, hey, we're just going to be total nonstop action. They became total nonstop action, and they noticed viewers started to like it. But then you notice when TNA started to try to be like WWE and started to be, like the company they hated so much, they started falling down with the viewers. See, AEW can be a competitor, but they're never going to be like WWE because WWE has already its set audience. It already has its brand loyalty. It already has their set of fans. People don't want to go and watch WWE if WWE already exists. And that's what Vince is hoping with NXT being a similar style to AEW when it comes to in-ring and presentation. He's hoping that people watch AEW and say, wow, this is just like NXT. Why would I watch this? Click, bam, turn on, stay with NXT. You're staying a WWE loyalist to the end of the day. That's what Vince is hoping. Will it work out? Who knows? But that's the thing. You can be a competitor, though. You can be different. I don't know how much different AEW is from WWE, but for me, for someone who doesn't really care about in-ring action style wrestling like most people, I'm going to be checking out AEW way more than NXT on a weekly basis. I already know. See, this is for me as a wrestling fan. You know, NXT is like McDonald's. I know what to get at McDonald's. I already know that I've eaten there a couple times. I know what I get. I have my usual order. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know what to stay away from. I don't try any of their new stuff unless it's something interesting. Bam! That's NXT. AEW is like that new fast food chain from the East Coast that came to the West Coast. I've never heard of it, but all my East Coast friends say, wow, you're lucky you got so-and-so. Let me use this for example. AEW, for many of you guys who live in the United States or outside of California, you guys heard of In-N-Out, right? AEW is like In-N-Out for most people. They hear about it. They hear people rave about it. They hear people just brag about it, say it's one of the best burgers in town, best burgers ever. I want to try. I want to know what it's about. That's what AEW is right now. It's like In-N-Out. You don't know what you're going to get, but there's a simple menu. There's a simple plan with it. It's just to give you good wrestling. Just like In-N-Out's menu is so simple. You get a single, double, but there's some secret stuff in the menu too, and AEW may have some secret stuff. We don't know yet because they never had a TV show. NXT, they've had years of television, even dated before the rebranding. So we know what it's like. It's McDonald's. We know what you're expecting on the menu. Well, AEW, like I said, is like In-N-Out for those who don't live in California or those who don't live in Texas or those who don't live, I think they have one in Washington. You get the idea. You don't know what you're getting. You want to try it. You know what it's like, but you want to give it a shot. And that's the thing. That's the difference right there. In-N-Out will never be McDonald's. They'll never be the empire that is McDonald's. And that's fine. You don't need to be McDonald's. But you can be a competitor to McDonald's. And you can be a competitor to the point where it's like, you know, say, for example, In-N-Out. In-N-Out, it's like $10 for a full meal. You get the animal style fries and you get the burger and everything like that. While McDonald's, it's like, fuck, man, I could pay $6. But what makes you want to pay that $4 difference? That's the thing with NXT, with AEW. What makes you want to give up that 1 hour of NXT to watch that first hour of AEW? What is AEW going to do different? And that's what we need to find out. I don't know. I don't know what AEW does on television. Just like most of you guys hearing my In-N-Out reference, you guys don't know what's at In-N-Out. You don't know this. You're just like, oh, I want to try it. That's the thing with AEW. So when it comes down to AEW, we have to wait and see what their weekly television does. This is hard to say, oh, well, AEW is dead now. We don't know anything about their weekly television show. We don't know what their weekly television is going to bring. If it's anything like their pay-per-views, it's just going to be like NXT. And like I said, Vince is hoping that the brand loyalty of the WWE, people watch NXT and say, oh, I'll check out this AEW. And they say, oh, it's just like NXT. Why would I watch this? Click, bam. I'm just going to stick with WWE product. We're not going to act like I'm not going to sit here and act like AEW is some innocent little bystander. They're not. Talk shit, get hit. Act like you're a big deal, then be a big deal. Don't be like Conor McGregor in the first fight and go to Nate Diaz. Stand toe-to-toe with Nathan Diaz. That's all I got to say about AEW versus WWE. I'm not going to sit here and paint this picture like WWE is some dicks for doing this. No, this is business. This is what any business would do. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry. If you think it sucks, deal with it. Because AEW has to deal with it. And guess what? I think AEW at the end of the day will be fine. I don't think AEW is going to struggle that much because of this. They also have Private Party too, Isaac Barak, if you were wondering. Private Party or a African-American tag team that AEW has. But yeah, man, when it comes to AEW though versus NXT, my overall thoughts though is this. This is a good playground battle. I'm interested to see what these in-ring dudes do. Like I said before, I'm going to check out AEW more than NXT. Mainly because I know what NXT already gives me. I go there. I go there often. I go there enough. I don't need to see what NXT does. But I do need to see what AEW does because I don't know what the hell they offer right now. I've only seen their pay-per-views, and their pay-per-views are long as shit. But other than that, I don't know what they offer from a weekly perspective, and I don't know what their weekly shows and presentation and what they're going to do, what they're going to bring. So I have to wait and see on that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, NXT's up there. Like, yes, this is probably the worst case scenario from AEW. At first, is that they felt, oh, we're just going to have to deal with NXT on Fox Sports 1. That's not a big deal because Fox Sports 1 is a premium channel. You have to pay for that. But now, go ahead and bam, NXT is now on USA, a free channel just like TNT. Not to mention Wednesday nights are a competitive night, especially with a bunch of other television shows going on the main networks like ABC and NBC and Fox. And then as well, AEW is at a disadvantage when the NBA on TNT comes around because let's not forget, during the playoffs, NBA on TNT is on Wednesdays. I'll repeat that again. During the playoffs, NBA on TNT is on Wednesdays. So this could hurt AEW, especially when they're in a later portion of the year. And let's just say around that time, that's a good time for WWE because WWE is coming off the heels of WrestleMania. They're getting some fan traction. This could be a good time for AEW. And heck, we've seen it's a good time for AEW because they decided to have their first ever pay-per-view around that time at Double or Nothing. It could hurt AEW, especially if TNT saying, hey, no offense, AEW, you're paying us to be on the network. We don't really have that much loyalty for you. NBA draws in the money. You're not Giannis Antetokounmpo. Bye. You're not LeBron James. Bye. You're not Kawhi Leonard. Bye. You're not Kenny Omega. You're not, what's that one guy's name on the fucking, God, who's that one player? I just drew a break, but you get it. Bye. Zion Williamson, if he makes the playoffs, bye. So that could hurt. That could hurt AEW. People don't think about that. People are just like, use your brain a little bit. So, should I tell Schleck? I'm not going to tell Schleck that he would do. He's a grown man. You should tell Schleck that he would to do that, though. I'm not going to tell him. He's gonna make videos that he wants to make his videos on. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make a video like this too. But yeah, overall, AEW versus NXT. It's a playground battle. It's like two school bullies going at it. And I just wonder which school bully is going to win. Is it going to be the troll bully or if it's going to be the known bully that's beating everyone else up? Because that's what this is ultimately. It's the big bad bully that you know beats other people up. And then this new bully, he came from another school where he got suspended, but his suspension is really just because he did some troll prank. But he's some big deal too, and some kids flock to him. And he's the troll bully, and he's just trolling the other bully. So now we're just seeing two big bullies fight each other, and we don't know who's going to win. So let's find out. Who do you guys have in this horse race? I wonder if there's betting odds on this. Like high key, dude. If AEW is like a plus 400 underdog, I'm going to throw some money on AEW. I'll put some money there. Impact, dude, Impact is like fucking a Burger King. Like, no one goes to Burger King anymore. They try to introduce new shit like the Burger King taco and everything. And then it's like, no, I don't want the Burger King taco. Like, no one was asking for this. They try all these stupid deals and stuff like that. It's like, oh man. Impact is just Burger King. Impact is not even the bully. Impact's that one guy that's trying to like fit in with all the kids and stuff like that. That's what Impact is. Impact has no implications on this, dude. They're just there. Impact is literally just there. New Japan Pro Wrestling is like Hardy / Carlos Jr. It's not everyone's favorite, but it gets the job done. It's an acquired taste. They need what's it called? They need people to want to go to Hardy's and Carl's Jr. for their stuff, but it's an acquired taste for sure. See, New Japan's either Jack in the Box or Carl's Jr. / Hardy's, because it's an acquired. It's not like the main go-to. It's not like the main go-to fast food place like McDonald's, like WWE is, and it's not mysterious like AEW is with In-N-Out. But hey, it's a place. Yeah, I know. CPZ said it best. ROH is Arby's. Like no one goes to Arby's. Like Arby's is there. There's moments you hear about, like, you're driving and you're like, oh, there's an Arby's. I'll go try it out. And then sometimes it's good, and then other times it's just utter shit, and you're on the toilet for 2 hours of your life wondering, why did you have Arby's? Why did I decide that this was a good idea? That's what it is with Ring of Honor. You say, oh, yeah, I'll go to this show. And sometimes it'll be like, wow, how come Ring of Honor is not better? And then you go to Ring of Honor, and then sometimes you sit there for 2 hours and you're like, holy shit, this sucks. So that's why Ring of Honor is Arby's. Sometimes it's good, but most of the times it's really, really, really bad. MLW is like a good fast food chain, but you forget about it sometimes, like Wiener Schnitzel or Freddy's or something along those lines, where you drive by it and you say, wow, man, I haven't had Wiener Schnitzel in a moment. Let me check it out. Then you get it, and then you eat it, and you're like, wow, this was pretty good. Wow. You never really have that much of a bad meal at Wiener Schnitzel. And then you say, I'm going to go back there eventually, and then you never go back. You forget that it exists. You forget that it's there until you drive by it again. And that's how MLW is. You watch a few episodes, you watch it, yeah, I'm going to watch it weekly. Then stuff comes in the way in your life, and you don't have time to watch it. There's way too much wrestling as it is. You don't feel like watching wrestling, and bam, that's what happens. Any idea what Jay Lethal's doing? I think he's feuding with Matt Taven. You still live in Cali still, bro? Yeah, this is the same house I've lived in since 2011. So yeah, I still live in California with that California. I could never leave California. No, I actually could, but it had to be a warm weather place. Like I become basic like that. I need warm weather now. So yeah. MLW is like that mom and pop store. No, the mom and pop store is like PWG. Still delivers on the goods every once in a while. But MLW is like Wiener Schnitzel, man. You forget it exists, but still good at the end of the day. Because that's how it is, man. I love how I compared wrestling to fast food. That was probably one of my favorite analogies off the cup. Like, I literally was just looking at my notes saying compare AEW and WWE to something, and I literally just came up with McDonald's, and I was like, shit, how do I compare AEW to something? And thankfully, In-N-Out's such a mystery for most of you guys, so I chose In-N-Out. Could do Chick-fil-A too for AEW, but I think Chick-fil-A has now become a more well-known brand. Thoughts on Ryan Hollins? What is he doing? He does stuff on First Take, right? I don't know. Like I just know he's a former basketball player, and he says dumb stuff on First Take. There's nothing really more to say about Ryan Hollins. Thoughts on the news that ROH funded All In? We already knew this. This was not news to me. I already knew this, man. I was doing the fast food restaurants, George, to grade in the beginning. I did the fast food restaurants in the beginning, man. Non-wrestling question: is DeMarcus Cousins' career over after the torn ACL? This is the true story. I went to Foot Locker with my friend, and I said to her, hey, what's that Lakers jersey? And she goes over to it, right? And it's a 15 on it. And I'm like, is that Boogie? And then she turns the jersey over because she's closer to it, and I was trying on some shoes, and it says Cousins on it. And I told the Foot Locker employee, you better fucking put that on clearance because that shit sucks. It sucks what happens to DeMarcus Cousins. He's probably he's going to be one of the best centers not to make the Hall of Fame. And I'm not even stretching when I say that. Dwight Howard's making the Hall of Fame. There's not even a question about it. But DeMarcus Cousins is a freaking talented center. Anyone who has never watched him in his peak, and especially when he was on the Pelicans with Anthony Davis, when it looked like they could actually make the Western Conference Finals, he's just amazing. And it sucks that he tore his Achilles. It's hard for big men to come out of that. He tore his quad. He had one good game in the NBA Finals. But yes, this torn ACL, I don't know if his career is over, but it won't be the same. And it sucks, man. Try to convince me that Paul Pierce is better than Dwayne Wade. Such a hard convince. I'll try. Pierce done more with bad teams than Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade really always had good teams around him. He's never had a bad team like Paul Pierce. People are going to say, oh, the big three, but people forget beforehand Paul Pierce was leading bad teams with Antoine Jameson as his second best player to the NBA playoffs and everything like that. Pierce has also been someone that has been very underrated in terms of post game than Dwayne Wade. I don't know, man. It's such a hard thing to convince that Paul Pierce is. I'll just say Pierce has done more with nothing. That's what I would say. I'm tired of this generation of wrestling fans. All they do is bicker, and I swear I'm surrounded by charlatans and children half the time. Sorry, Nero. That's just how wrestling fans are nowadays. Is it me or does Dawkins from Street Profit look like DeMarcus Cousins? He needs to lose weight, man. He gained some weight, Dawkins. But yeah, other than that, he does look like Boogie Tad did. Will Trump win in 2020? Well, based off of what's it called? What's that one thing called? Stats and statistics, consistency values, probably, because we haven't had like if Trump doesn't win, a Republican is gonna win, because at least, but minus Clinton and him getting impeached, there's been Democrats for 8 years, Republicans for 8 years, Democrat for 8 years, Republicans. So I'm thinking Trump or Republican is gonna win for 8 years. Do you feel that Montez Ford has potential to be a big solo star? He could be a good mid-carder right now. I don't know about a main event or anything like that, but a good mid-card star, which is fine in itself. I don't see that being a big deal. You just need to bulk up a little bit more. But other than that, he has the mic skills and charisma for days. Like most people, like his charisma is off the chart. Like it's really good, his charisma. And I think he's helped Angelo Dawkins shown that charisma. Yeah, gangsta, but he ain't no West Coast gangsta. Yeah, Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. Amazing. Hey, Chase, honest question. Did this video spawn from the recent arguments you had with fanboys on Twitter? No, I was planning on doing this video, but I was just waiting for the news to be official. I don't like posting stuff when the news isn't official. That's just me nowadays. Like, dirt sheets just report a bunch of crap, and I just want to wait until the official announcement was made. Super Bowl 50, whatever prediction now that we're in football season. The Super Bowl this year, I have Patriots because it's hard to go against them till Tom Brady is gone. Patriots versus Eagles 2 or 3, the rubber match of the century. I think that will be the Super Bowl. Both those teams are very talented. I just think they're good. The Chargers, they took a big hit with Derwin James going out, which sucks. I don't even want to talk about it. Don't even ask me about the Chargers. I will not answer your questions. I'm sorry. But yeah, Chiefs. I'm sorry. Their defense is still ass. I can't think of an AFC sleeper team that's worth a damn right now. Maybe Buffalo. I like their defense a lot, and their offense could improve, and I think Josh Allen has a chance. So yeah. And then when it comes to the NFC, it's just the Eagles, the Bears, the Lions, and a bunch of other teams. So there's way too much competition in the NFC. Thoughts on the Cleveland boy beasting Popeye's Chicken Cormier? Well, Cormier was dissing Popeye's Chicken. I thought it was a good fight. Cormier just didn't show any respect to Stipe, and Stipe showed what champions do when you don't respect them, and that's what happens. You know, DC let his ego get the best of him. He felt he could knock out Stipe. I feel like if DC would have went to wrestling a little bit more, Stipe would have been done. He should have tired out, like he should have done what Ngannou did, what Stipe did with Ngannou, and tired out Stipe, because then those body shots wouldn't have hurt DC that much. But DC just started to disrespect him. That felt like he could take those shots, and he ended up not getting knocked out, and that sucks. It is what it is. People need to chill with the rest in peace NXT tweets. I understand how well they feel, but at the same time, we should take the wait and see approach. Oh no, it's Vince in charge now. So Vince, everything he does is bad, even though he's a billionaire, and I'm just a guy who makes pennies on YouTube. You know, I admit, yeah, sometimes Vince's ideas suck, but at the same time, I look at his track record of more W's than they are L's. Yeah, recently there's more L's than W's, but I feel like Vince has his ideas. I just gotta wait and see. Isn't The Rock and Kanye running for president in 2020? Kanye for sure. I don't know about The Rock. He might be filming more bad movies. What has happened to AJ Styles? He seems not to give a fuck as much anymore. It's called mid-card AJ, CPZ. Mid-card AJ is dad bod. I go out there, do my 3-star Triple H matches, and that's it. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't need to. He's AJ Styles. He's made enough money to like last him years. If Kanye West is in WWE, how would you book him? As a main eventer, he would have like a Braun Strowman be his muscle, and Braun Strowman would wrestle his matches for him. And Kanye would make sure Braun would never get mad because he would just give him money. That's what I would do. What was the best year in IWC? 2011 for sure, and that is definitely the prime IWC years too. Guess what Paul Costa fight night weight at when he fought Romero? 216 pounds. Jesus, that fight was amazing though. Yeah, I know. Seriously, Tom Brady grabs any job or wide receiver and he makes him a main eventer. Like Maurice Harris this year, he's like one guy that I say like you see him in your fantasy football waiver wires. Don't be afraid to pick him up because I've heard good things about him. Am I the only one who thinks John Jones has shit boxing? Ugh. Damn it.